Hello everyone, and welcome back. We have some significant developments to discuss today coming from the Pokrovsk Brailiv direction, where Ukrainian counterattacks are reshaping the battlefield. The situation on the ground. Ukrainian forces have now managed to cut off Russian supply lines between the villages of Shahava and Nova Shahava. Previously, Russian units in this area had already been relying heavily on drones for resupply, but today, Ukrainian soldiers physically linked up at this critical point, effectively severing Russian logistics. At the same time, we can confirm that Novashave has been fully liberated. This leaves Russian troops in the neighboring Kucheriv Yar almost entirely cut off. They remain partially entrenched in forested areas, but without secure supply routes. They are increasingly reliant on drone drops for survival. According to reliable sources, including the deep state military map, Ukrainian troops are slowly but steadily consolidating these gains. While some gray areas remain contested, it is now clear that the Russian presence here is extremely fragile. Russian losses and Ukrainian gains. The scale of Russian losses in this sector is already significant. Reports suggest that nearly 2,000 Russian soldiers have been lost in this encirclement. Despite this, many Russian troops are still refusing to surrender. Even when completely surrounded, videos released online show Ukrainian soldiers clearing villages, encountering Russian troops hiding in basements, and engaging them in close combat.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian commanders, including the chief of the drone forces, have been spotted near Pokrovsk, signaling that larger operations may already be underway. Ukrainian drone units, though currently representing only about 2% of the army, are expected to double in strength and capability. The long-term goal is to create what Ukrainian officials describe as a death zone along the entire front line, denying Russia any meaningful chance to advance. For Russia, the situation is becoming increasingly desperate. Their only viable option would be to regroup near Donetsk and attempt another large-scale assault toward Toretsk and Solder. However, such an operation would carry enormous risk, given their ongoing attrition and the heavy use of Ukrainian drones and precision artillery. In recent days, Russia has made limited advances near Pavlivka and Verbova, but these appear to be probing attacks rather than a major offensive. Ukrainian reinforcements, including the 110th Mechanized Brigade, are already being deployed to counter these moves, particularly in the critical sectors south of Pokrovsk. The role of drones and aviation, the defining feature of this phase of the war, remains unmanned aerial systems. Ukrainian forces are using drones not only to cut supply routes, but also to strike Russian troops hiding in forests, villages, and ruined structures. With thermal imaging, there are very few safe havens left. At the same time, Ukrainian aviation continues to play a decisive role, deploying Western-supplied precision munitions. Russia, for its part, is also using glide bombs, including very large 3,000-kilogram models, creating destructive challenges for Ukrainian positions. This technological race underscores the importance of Western partners continuing to provide advanced weaponry to Ukraine.
So, what comes next? The Russian military appears hesitant to commit fully to any single offensive, likely because of the high risk of further losses. Ukrainian forces, meanwhile, are advancing deliberately and methodically. In places like Kucheriv Yar, there is no urgency. The encircled Russians have nowhere to run, and Ukrainian drones can maintain pressure indefinitely. In summary, Ukrainian forces have successfully cut Russian supplies between Shahava and Nova Shahava. Novashave has been liberated, and Russian troops in Kucheriv Yar are increasingly isolated. Russian losses in this sector are mounting, with nearly 2,000 soldiers already lost. Ukrainian drone warfare continues to expand, soon to double in scale and capability. Russian advances near Pavlivka and Verbova remain limited and under pressure. This is a critical stage of Ukraine's counteroffensive. Slowly but surely, Ukrainian forces are reshaping the front lines and creating conditions that may lead to larger Russian collapses in the weeks ahead. Thank you all for following these updates. As always, your support makes it possible to bring this information to light. Until next time, I wish you peace and safety wherever you are.